What's up, everybody? What's going on? Happy holidays. Enjoy the holiday. Merry Christmas to all those who are celebrating and who are not celebrating. Wishing you all the best. Love, peace, joy to you and your family. Thank you for joining in. Just driving around some new tracks today, tracks that I haven't driven. Some of them are not really new tracks, but tracks that I just don't drive very much on. So today, we're giving a go to some of those tracks and see how we do. Just a couple of, starting off with a little bit of warm-up. Let's see how things go, and then we'll take it from there. So here we are. Let's go. Let me just check where we at here. Everything is good to go. Let's roll. Alright, so this is a very interesting track. Lots of light, lots of shade. This is Sequoia Park. Alright, really cool track. We got the Grinch car that we're driving around in. Here we go. Look at that. Look at that Grinch car and Grinch hat. Alright. Ooh. Alright. Warming up. Ooh. A lot of elevation there. All right, so hold up. Settings kind of feeling weird right now. Really weird. Something's going on. Let me check my situation here. Something is off. Trying to figure out what it is. Nah. Let me switch out car. I feel like there's something wrong with my settings right now. My steering isn't going the way I expect it to go. Let me switch out a car. Let me make sure it's not the car. All right, let's try again. No, this is Assetto Corsa. This is Assetto Corsa Sequoia Park. What in the world is going on? Oh boy. All right. Miata Street next. It's called Assetto Corsa on PC. Something is way off, man. Yeah, something is way off in my settings. Not, I think it might be an update I gotta do. Let me check. All right, so we're back. Let's go. So it's definitely the track and the car that I was using in the very beginning that just didn't go too well at all. So right now, I'm trying to just adjust and get back into Brooklyn Park and trying it here to see what's going on, because my car was behaving really weird in Sequoia Park and I'm just not used to that. And I think the grip on that track is definitely very different, and that's what was going on. Here though, I'm back into the element, the usual, just checking them out, just having a good time, and everything is going really, really well. All right, so, you know, tracks do matter in this game. You got to be in the right track with the right car to make things work the right way, and sometimes it doesn't work out that way because the track's attributes, the road surface, and the amount of traction that your car is going to be getting there is going to be different. So the cars drive very different from track to track, which is very interesting. It adds another layer of complexity to the game, and I really enjoy that. But right now it's a little bit taken by surprise because I haven't driven Sequoia Park, and I was like, what's going on here? Everything feels really, really weird. I could not control the car very much, and I think it had to do with just the amount of grip that I was getting on the track. The track grip was, I think, a little bit higher. So we'll go back to that track, and we'll you know, once we warmed up a little bit, we'll go back to Sequoia Park and we'll keep playing with it, because I think it is a really nice track. It gives you some really cool options. It's nice and small, but it's definitely not the easiest track because there's a bunch of weird elevation and very fast short to long transitions, which is, you know, adds a new layer of complexity and fun. So we'll definitely be going back to that. I just wanted to make sure that my wheel settings weren't wrong, because I really felt different in Sequoia Park, and I was very surprised by that. So I came back to something very familiar, Brooklyn Park, where I drift all the time, and I came back to the Miata Street, which is a car that I drift all the time also. So doing that, I'm now realizing that actually the wheel is fine, the settings are fine. I checked the force feedback settings on the wheel. I checked everything, the pedals, recalibrated everything, and things are working out fine. So maybe the pedals needed to be recalibrated, which I did, and it's working fine. So it was either that or it was just the tracks are very different. So we're gonna go back to Sequoia Park after this lap and get on trying some new tracks, because you've seen me drift in Brooklyn Park all the time. We're going to Sequoia Park, and then we're going to go to a couple of other tracks. One I recently downloaded from Patreon, which is, I think, is a cool one, and I'm looking forward to showing you that one right now. So in a little bit we'll get there too, but one thing at a time. Sequoia Park first. We messed up a lot in Sequoia Park when I first started the live, so I want to go back and correct all that before we move on to something new. All right, so here we go. Brooklyn Park, I think, has come to an end. Yeah, feels real great. Feels like a good old time. Real smooth, lots of corners, linking upon linking upon linking, left foot braking, tap tap feathering, keeping in line, e-brake, tap 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 to keep the angle, tap 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 tap. Look at that. All right, this is drift school right here. Tap 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 tap. Tap 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 tap. Little bit of left foot braking, trying to get that speed under control. Floor the throttle because we want to make the car spin out in the other direction a little bit more. We're staying in the lane too, which is real nice. Not too much going out of the lane. Maintaining that line is what we like to do. So here we go. All right, lap complete. We've linked everything up real nice. This is that big corner that goes from the top to bottom. The elevation changes, goes down, you gain speed, and then all of a sudden you ramp back up here. Right here, there's a little jump, and that could really throw you off. I did not have a very clean entry there, but you know, worse can happen on that little jump. But there we are, all collected. This is a tight corner right here. You gotta really watch your speed. Can't be too fast. You're gonna go all the way out into the grass. And here we got a nice, long, flowy turn, which is real nice. This is a short one right here. You got a little break, and then once again a tight one right here. Yeah, I mean, Brooklyn Park is just amazing. The amount of variety you get is just incredible, and I'm just showing you, this is the remastered version of the map, and this is just a part of it. There's like so many other sections of this park that you can continue to drift in, and you get a different experience. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom out to show you what I'm talking about. All right, once you zoom out, just check out the different areas you can go to and try out. There's the basketball courts, there's a drift park on the side. There's also the outside, you know, if you want to drive on the street for a second. It's not a whole lot on the street, but you got a couple of city blocks that you can drive around, and that's really nice too. All right, zooming out, look at that. All right, so that side track, so there's one track that we've been on, and you can see the tire marks and all that. That's the one we've been driving around and drifting around in. But then there's another one you can see that it's less polished. All right, it's like a little side track, so you can do some donuts and things there. That's pretty cool. And then on this side, this is that nice little drift park area. Got a little figure eight type of situation going on here. Real easy drift, real smooth, real nice. All right, so overall this park gives you so many options. I will zoom out. Oh, it's actually huge, you know. It's huge. There's so many options. There's so many ways you can go about drifting around here, and it all feels real good. And then you got those sharp corners, those 180-degree corners when the streets intersect, and that's pretty dope too. All right. So let's go ahead and try some of those other areas out, and then we'll switch on to something else. All right, here we go. All right, I'm gonna try to get on to that other track first that goes on the outside of the park, and just looking for an entry there. Where is the entry to that parallel track? It's right there. The road I can see, but I can't get up there, so I gotta find a way to link. Where's the path that takes us there? Right here. So this is the park. All right, so let's go ahead. This is the path. A little bit tighter. All right, the roads are not as wide as the main track, which, you know, gives you a little challenge to work through, and some tight corners here too. And you're a little bit elevated from the main track. Look at that. All right, just like that, we out of there. Ooh, messed up there for a second, but we are outside now. And then this other track that I was talking about, you can go down here through the ramp right there, and you could join. There you go, right here. And this is a really nice area. Once again, you got the wide road. This is a figure eight, but really, once you get going, once you kick it out, you don't have to do a whole lot of work. The car just does most of it. And you have a lot of space. So very forgiving, lots of room for error, mistakes, are not gonna end you here. Look at that. Real nice. Just like that. All right, and then you can exit out this ramp. Oh, I kind of messed up there. And then this is nice though, because it brings us to the basketball courts, where we're gonna head on to right now. All right, let's enter. Oh, just passed him. So here's a basketball court. There you go, just like that. Look at that. Cutting up the basketball court. All right, and then you can go outside. And just like that, we're back. All right, so there you have it, Brooklyn Park. Let's go back to Sequoia Park now. I feel like I'm warmed up and I want to check it out. I want to see if we can get back into that one and fix some of the mistakes, that I really had a hard time the first time I tried Sequoia Park. Let's head back to Sequoia Park. All right, Sequoia Park, here we are. All right, we got some light here now. Okay, this is way better. I think my pedal just needed calibration. The last time I was here, that's what the problem was. And now that the pedals are fine, I'm doing okay. But yeah, this track is definitely tricky. It's got, the linking isn't that hard, but the elevation changes and the sharper turns, like this one was real short right here, right? The sharp corners, they're a little bit hard. And then this one came down and turned real sharp. So that elevation was kind of, that weight transfer, really weird. All right, it's really weird. So you gotta make sure you're on point there. All right. And then throttling, you just got to be real careful. You can't go too hard, especially in some of these tighter corners. Oh, I messed up. Got too lazy. Took one of my hands off the wheel, and that had to pay the price for that. Alright, so left foot braking is definitely good here. Again, elevation change. We got a little bit of a bump. It goes down real quick, comes back up. And then again, goes down, comes back up. Oh my gosh. This is not as easy as it might be looking to you right now. The steering feels kind of crazy in those moments where the weight transfer happens, and then we have, you know, elevation changes, especially if you're going too fast and it's like hitting a speed bump really hard. That feeling makes you lose control of the steering wheel, and that adds a bit of a challenge here in controlling the car during the drift. And I gotta say, all the smoke ain't helping. Yeah, slowing down there really helped out. There you go, there you go. I made out of that. That was almost a suicide mission because I was too fast. And I keep on forgetting how fast I'm going down that hill. Like, I gotta slow down in advance of that, and we can have a smoother corner on that one, on that last corner. Let's see if I remember this time when that corner is coming up, so I can modulate my speed a little bit better, like I'm doing here. Here, I'm able to slow down quite a bit, and this is that big corner. All right, and e-brake definitely helps in slowing me down there, so that was nice. Ooh, man, this corner right here is tough because it goes like up and down. There's like two bumps there, and this is that slow one that I wanted to slow down for, and this time around we pulled it off, guys. We pulled it off. And I gotta say, this park looks real nice. It's pretty, it's beautiful. There's lots of trees and bushes and rocks. Lots going on. It's kind of like a farm setting. You're on the farm and you got logs and some dandelions in the grass. Air's breezing. Alright, you got some logs, you know, some lumberjack work going on here. And it looks real nice. A lot of trees are cut up here. Alright, definitely don't support that, but you know, it's a game. Oh my gosh, that corner I really, really like. You gotta really slow down for that one. Oh, this one too. Right there, this is what I was talking about. Oh, there you go, dead. Dead. Alright, there's some of these guys just standing there, these farmers just hanging out, chilling. Happy holidays, Otto. Daz, what's going on? Yeah, struggling to learn this track. Sequoia Park, first time. At the beginning of the live, I really couldn't figure it out, man. But by now, we've, you feel those speed bumps. The speed bumps on this track are definitely sneaky. And I wish there was some paint to help us figure out where the speed bumps are. Because sometimes in the, you know, in the pace and the momentum of the drift, right here too, you forget what's coming ahead. I'm sure there are clues and tips here that I'm just not seeing yet because I'm new to the track. But it feels real, real good when you start linking them up. There you go. This is that slow corner. I like to slow down really, really nicely on that one. Another speed bump, or a hill, I should say. All right. And there you go, past the welcome sign post. That welcome sign post is a tricky one too, because immediately after it, you're going into a big corner, but it's also an elevation change corner. So all the corners here, actually most of the corners here in Sequoia Park have an elevation change. A couple of them are a dramatic change, but then there's a couple that are kind of subtle. Like this one is still there. See, I was going up the hill, then I came down the hill real quick. All right, so there's definitely a lot going on here. All right, hold on one moment. I gotta get my mustache in order. Gotta calm the mustache down. All right. Wow, so Sequoia Park's real nice. Definitely on the challenging side, all right? Not a beginner type of track, I don't think. All right. Now, I would recommend this to beginners once you've gotten your fundamentals down and now you're ready to test out, you know, what you've learned and if you're good, you know, and how far away from getting really good are you. I think this track will reveal that to you, especially mostly because of the elevation change and the corners. You know, different corners going up and down at different levels all of a sudden surprises you. And if you're not ready to adapt, you're gonna be just hitting the fence. You know, you're gonna be driving straight into the fences here. And you gotta be aggressive with the steering sometimes here, because when that elevation change, your steering kind of goes back and you lose the tension, you lose the force feedback in the steering for a second, and all of a sudden the force feedback comes back when you hit the ground, right? So it's a really weird feeling, but I think it is definitely enough to mess you up, to mess your drift up, right? If you're on the wrong side, if your landing is wrong, or you're going too fast right here, right? Oh, I was going too fast, so I went for both my brakes. I went for the e-brake and I went for the left foot braking to kind of slow down real fast, because I forgot again that that's that big crazy corner. There you go. Took that one real nice. Once again, it comes down, and then as you're turning, it comes up. And a lot of the corners here in Sequoia Park do this. You know, you're entering on a slope, and you're leaving on a slope, which is crazy. Right? You're entering on a decline, and then you're leaving on a decline sometimes. It's like a hill. The corner is on the hill, and then entry and exit are on the downhill. So it's really weird. But definitely something to learn and challenge yourself with. Oh, see, I went out too far. Oh boy. E-brake is your friend here. In Sequoia Park, handbrake, you gotta have your handbrake in Sequoia Park. But you're gonna need it. I mean, I feel like I can do the whole track without the handbrake also. Let's see how far I go without the e-brake. No handbrake needed so far, but this right here is where I was using the handbrake a lot to slow down earlier on. There you go, no handbrake. And this is our tricky one. No handbrake. That was sloppy, but I'm still glad I was able to do it without handbrake. And I think we just linked up the whole track without the handbrake. There you go. I think that's everything. So wow, we've come a long way. I couldn't even drive past one corner at the beginning of this live around here in Sequoia Park. But I really do think my pedals needed to be recalibrated. I think that's something wrong was going on with my settings, and once I sorted that out, I was able to drift once again. But either way, this track did present some challenges, and now we're back. All right, so this is Sequoia Park. Let me go ahead and zoom out a little bit so you get to see an aerial view and a top shot, a bird's eye view of this track. I really like how small and compact it is, but that elevation around the corners, up and down, you got to fluctuate your speed and maintain control of the steering, is very tricky. All right, so that's my initial reaction. Let's zoom out a little bit. Let's take a look at this track from up top. Oh my gosh, look at the track. So there you go. There's a bit of a dirt road that we didn't go to on the other side of that pond. You could go to that. There's not much there. I mean, it's just a dirt road. It's pretty wide. So, you know, you get a little rally flavor to it if you want. Let me go ahead and turn up some lights so you can see even more clearly. All right, so there you go. So this one tree is real tall right now at the very top, but, you know, very nice drift track. I feel like it's a really good drift track because there's a corner on every corner. And that's what you want. You don't want to be going straight too far and not have anywhere to drift. I don't like when that happens. You know, for no reason, you're just going straight. I don't like circuits that are like a zero, you know, an O-shaped circle where like two straight lines on the side and just two curves. I don't like that. So this, having a lot of different curves all over the place with many different types of elevation, is a thumbs up. All right, let's move on to the next one. What else do we got here? All right, so now we're going to the Empire Drift Track by Boskep. I don't know how to say it. Boskep, Boskep. All right, got it off of Patreon from Boskep Patreon page, and we're gonna give it a go. I don't even know anything about this track, so it's one of the newer ones that I came across, and we're hitting it up. Here we go. Oh, are we in the parking garage or something? It's late night out here. All right, let's turn up the lights. Okay, so we got ourselves a little water fountain. Do some donuts out here. All right, good to practice your donuts. It's a nice big water fountain. All right, real nice. Let's go ahead and exit out this way. What do we got? Oh, wow. Are all roads gonna be this wide? Wow, real wide. You know what? How about we start with a zoom out and see where we're headed. All right. Oh my gosh, look at that elevation. Holy moly. All right, so we're on the top portion. Man, it's long. That's all of it. Okay, so just zooming out a little bit on this side. So this is all of it. All right. There's the inside couple of loops going to the outside, then back on the inside. All right, so it's all linked up. It's a circuit. It's a loop. We're going to end up where we start. So I like that, so you don't get lost. All right, let's begin. It's wide though. Oh gosh. And I need to be in third gear here. so that shifting is important here. Wow, real wide though. All right, lots of margin for error and forgiving. You're gonna be okay. Ooh, going uphill on second. Woo! And we're back where we started. And then here we could gain some speed, so I got into third. This is a nice big corner. You know, we can be on the side for a while here. I'm just gonna go straight up. We're gonna go straight this time. Okay, same thing. Wow. Oh boy. I mean, wide drifting, you know, you want a lot of space. You're just learning how to drift. I think this is going to be great for that. Oh, I messed up. I was going too fast. But it's going to be great for that. There's not a lot of ways you can crash here. Obviously, there's a fence around, but the roads are so wide. I mean, you really can't go wrong with it. A good place to learn, I think. And third gear in Gravy Garage car. Woo! Look at that. Real nice. A simple track, straightforward. No bells and whistles, a little bit of elevation, speedy track, not a slow track. You know, it's geared towards some speedier drifting. You want to link and connect real fast, go fast, drift fast, higher grade cars probably. And just like that. Wow. I'm really enjoying this, guys, and I totally recommend this track for novices, new people. You're learning how to drift. There's plenty here. All right, plenty here for you to just get your feet wet with. All right, not a lot of trickiness to this track. You even have some elevation that pushes you a little bit. Oh, this crashed. You know, our first crash, not bad, right? So really nice track. One more time, I'm gonna zoom out, let you see what it is, and we'll take it from there. Look at that. Real nice. I'm definitely very nicely and pleasantly surprised by this. It's a really cool looking track. All right, I enjoyed it very much. I love how wide the boulevard, you know, basically really wide roads. You know, the corners are real nice and big and wide, so you know you can really speed up a little bit and try out some speedy corners. So that looks really great. All right, totally recommend this track. Super awesome. Let me know what you think about this, and we're ready to go on to the next track now. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, Extreme Pool Larissa. All right, so this is a go-kart track, which means that it's going to be short and sweet, but at the same time, it's going to be real tight, real narrow, short, sharp corners. All right, so let's see. We're in a Miata. Miata is going to be a nice car to have here because Miata is like a go-kart. All right, so it's real nice to have a tiny car that has the power to kind of whip around those tight corners and, kind of do 180s, almost 360s with ease. All right, so let's see what this one does. All right, so let's go ahead and get out there onto the kart track. Oh, there's arrows here even. Look at that. They're trying to guide you. So we're going this way first, huh? Okay, ooh. Look how tight that was. Okay, that's not that easy, actually. Without the e-brake, I don't know if I can do it. Without the e-brake, I don't know. Let me try it. See, I lost out. I slowed down too much without the e-brake. Okay, so that was without the e-brake, and that was fine. But that's a wide corner, right? I slowed down too much without the e-brake. So I need to shift down, and I'm forgetting to do that. Ooh, yeah, this is a tough track. Okay. All right, let me focus a little bit. There you go, made that one. Let me just try with the e-brake because that's a little bit easier. Oh boy. I'm going all the way across. Wrong lane. Wrong lane. See, that turn was a little too wide. Okay. We're gonna master it. We're gonna master it. No. Alright. We got through that. Okay, that's an easy one. It's these corners right here that are the tough one. Oh, hitting the cones, but I did make it. I think I finally made it. This is not as tough, but I did slow down a little too much on that one. The left foot braking, I got wrong on that. This is tough. Okay, so that one's always nice. Okay, so that was the best one, I think, so far. Man. Okay, we got that. That first gear really helped there. Should have done left foot braking. Okay. There you go. That downshift really helps. There you go. All right. Oh man. Gotta shift better. Gotta shift better. Okay. There you go. Nice. Squeezed out of there. That one was real lame. Woo! This one's making me break a sweat. Oh, I hit the tires. Oh, man. That was lame. All right, let's do it again. Let's do it again. Okay, that was finally a clean one. Nice, that was good. There you go, another clean one. No tire. Alright, that was fine too. Woo! This is no joke, guys. This one. This one really pushes you to work on the technique. Look at that. Wow, that was sweet. Woo! Got on the orange there a little bit. Man. Wow. Woo! Man, tired. Real fun though. Real fun. Doing pretty good. Let's go ahead and hop into a next track. What else is on deck? This go-kart one, definitely a challenging one. Looks the easiest, is the shortest little track, but those tight little corners, you got to practice those. Downshifting along a corner, entering a corner, exiting a corner. That's real tight, real slow. Man, that's definitely, I need a lot more practice with this. So we'll definitely be coming back here and trying this out a little bit more. So big thumbs up. Definitely a challenging track. All right, let me see what else we're gonna do here. Lots of drift tracks going on. We haven't tried Backwoods. Backwoods would be a good track also. We got the drift track by the old tree. I like that one. Let me go ahead and show you that one. The old tree. This is a beginner level track also, in my opinion. I think it's a great track to just practice, you know, drifting without crashing too much. All right, here we go. Real nice track, this one. Look at that. And this is the tree. And tree is the trickiest sort of area here. Everything else is nice, smooth, a lot of left foot braking here. All right, you got to learn how the different turns are, but you get a lot of options here. The turns are real nice, real forgiving, big, wide loops. Look at that. Easy transitions, easy linking. You can practice a lot here of just how to link big tracks. And then once again, it goes from big to small, and then you got your left foot braking that you can try out. And there you go, just like that. And it's got a little zigzag obstacle course here. And just like that. We're back at the tree with a little jump that throws your handling way off. You don't realize it, but it really throws your handling off. So you gotta be careful there. Oh, I messed up. The fireworks are distracting me. Those fireworks going off is looking real nice. Look at that. Forza is not the only game with fireworks, guys. Look at this. Really, really good beginner level track. There's not a lot of tricks here, just linking corners. You want to practice linking corners big and small, this is the one. All right, this is a good option. And then left foot braking too, right here. Oh. I love it. Really, really nice. Beautiful. It's awesome linking all together. Lots of space, right? Not a lot of barricades for you to crash into. There are certain spots like this. There's some concrete there on the sides that you're going to crash into if you don't pay attention. But overall, it gives you a lot of opportunities to kind of just drift around, learn the car, practice some left foot braking, get around these sharp corners when they arrive. There's only a couple of these tiny sharp corners here. Most of the corners are big. Like this one is a bit sharper. All right. Then you can also challenge yourself with a challenge like this. And we're out of there. Look at that. Old trees coming up. We're gonna get that jump, so I'm gonna slow down a little bit so we can easily land without, you know, breaking my arm here with the wheel. So the force feedback goes crazy when you get those jumps in this game. Nice fireworks going on in the back there. And man, oh man. Drift spot by the old tree. This is a good track. Really, really nice beginner level track, guys. Really nice. Let me go ahead and zoom out a little bit so you can see the aerial view, so you understand what's going on. And then we'll move on to the next. Here we go. Just like that. That's what you got. Pretty simple, pretty basic, just grass. You know, a couple of spots, a couple of trees here and there. But mostly, it's just linking up corners. And I love it. All right. And the grip on this track is real good. It's not too grippy. The car is easy to slide over here. All right, and it's a very forgiving track because you're not going to be crashing into something every 5 seconds. All right, really good for beginners. Let me know what you think about this, and then we're going to try our last one. Let's go ahead and try one more track before we wrap up. All right, we got the drive park. There's so many tracks right now. The Boski we've already tried. The Extreme Pool Larissa we already tried. All right, there's lots of cool tracks. Lime Rock is another good one. So let's go ahead and wrap up with Lime Rock. That's a new one too for me. Haven't really done this one very often. Let's go to Lime Rock. All right. Lime Rock is actually very similar to the drift spot by the tree. It's a very similar track to that, but I think it does a little bit more with elevation. All right. Now, that tree one does not do a whole lot with elevation. There's that one spot by the tree when you feel a little bit of a bump, but besides that, it's a pretty flat track. This one gives you a couple of other options, adds some layers of complexity, and we're going to try those out. All right, and we're back in here. Third, I don't really need. All right, so let's go this way. Again, wide roads. But you can't get carried away, all right? You gotta look at this. Look at this. Elevation change. We're going up the hill now, and immediately we gotta start swerving so we can get ready for this sharp corner. Some orange cones there for your reference. Boy, oh boy. And you can go around the island, or you can go on that side of the island, whichever one you want. All right, so a few things that a little bit, you know, gives you a little mix of things just to get you. Oh, I can't really see right now, so I'm gonna have to turn up the daytime. Oh boy, yeah, it's getting real hard to see. Hold on. All right, dawn. Yeah, this is way better. All right, so let me go ahead and go around like this. Woo. So this one is definitely a little bit more complicated because it's got the cones, and it's like you got to really pay attention to a lot of different things here. And there's a couple of cut-throughs along the track too, so it can be confusing in the beginning if you're trying to find your way around, but once you do, it's nothing crazy. Look at this. If you want to do some handbrake practice, it's a good spot for that. Leftward braking, it's a good spot for that. That's the island again. There you go. Look at this. Big sharp corner. You can go downhill again if you want. Go left from here if you want. You could have gone right. Lots of options on this one. I like that about this. And again, there was that elevation change right there. I almost lost control of the car. So you gotta really figure out, the weight transfer of the car, how things shift, how to steer in those tricky situations. Oh my gosh, feels real good though, real nice. We're back to the island again. We're gonna go this side. Ooh, got on dirt there, but let's go here. Lots of sharp turns, lots of opportunities for handbrake, like I said. Beautiful. This is a nice track, and it goes real fast. It's not that long, but it feels like it's got a lot of different pathways that you can take, so you can really, get into your wherever your heart desires. You can just go in that route, in that direction, and the track allows for that. This is what I like. Look at this. Downhill. Fast downhill. So you gotta watch those brakes. Big corner. We're back to the front of the track, the very beginning of the track. Really, really cool track. Oh, too fast. See, I came too fast, too hot, and paid the price. But paying the price here just means that you're gonna slide off to the, grass real quick for a little bit, and that's it. Nothing else, right? Which is nice. Easy recoveries, right? When you make a mistake, easy recovery. Nothing crazy. And whichever direction you go in, you get kind of like a different feeling, which I like. And here we can go this way now. Ooh, well, see, I accelerated a little bit too much. Let's try this one more time. Ooh. All right, so we'll come here. All right, so we're gonna go down here, and I gotta slow down here. Yes, this. All right, correction made. And just like that, we change our directions. So yeah, you can easily change directions on this track, which is another nice perk of the track, right? You don't have to get bored just, going round and round and round the track in one direction. Easily switch directions depending on, which path you take. You can cut across and just change directions. It's very nice. I like it. All right, so this time we'll go left. Last time we went right. We go left now. Bingo. See, change direction. Oh, oversteer, because there's elevation here. You go up, it's a bump. You go up and down real fast here, and that makes you lose control. But anyway, really, really nice. Really nice. Beginner level drift park here with good grip, wide roads, easy corrections, variety of just mechanics involved. I feel like it's a little bit short on the amount of corners it has for you to practice linking. So, and the corners feel a little bit farther apart in this one. But besides that, I think it's real nice. But anyway, we're gonna wrap up here. This was our last one. Let me know what you think about this, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.